Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Good evening. Come in and take a seat. Can you tell me your full name, please? What shall I call you?
You can call me Jade.
Can I see your identification, please?
Okay.
Now, in this part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Do you work or study?
I'm still a student and I studied in university for interpretation and translation.
All right. Why do you choose that major?
Well, I choose this major simply out of two reasons. The first one is I'm a quick learner in language compared with math or science. The second reason is that I think through learning these majors, I can achieve my dreams, like to become an interpreter or to acquire these skills.
Wonderful. So let's move on to the topic of weather. What kind of weather do you like most?
Well, I think the weather in the autumn days I like the most. The weather will not hot as the dark days at summer, or I will not feel freezing cold in winter. I can just wear the t-shirts or blouse, working under the sun and enjoy the gentle breeze, which is very comfortable for me.
Mhm. What's the weather like in your hometown?
Well, my hometown is located in the southern part of China. The typical weather in here is quite wet and hot. Um, for example, the I come after the summer holidays, I come back to my dormitories. When I was sort out my closet, I surprisingly find that some of my clothes went moldy due to the moisture.
Do you like the weather in your hometown?
Uh, Actually, I don't like it because the weather in here, no, no, the summertime in here is too long for me. I prefer the weather in European country is always keep in the 40 degrees. Yeah, it's very cool and not so hot.
Mhm. Do you prefer dry or wet weather?
Uh, just like I have said before, my hometown weather is very wet and hot, so I maybe prefer the dry weather because uh, the weather in the northern part of my country, I like them very much. In there, you can just enjoy the very comfortable and the dry life. You don't need to worry about anything when moldy.
All right. So I'd like to move on now to talk about concentration. All right. So is it difficult for you to stay focused on something?
Actually, not. Maybe I have some talent or gift in this part. Yeah. When I was just a little girl, I can have already focused on my homework for already 2 to 3 hours. So it's not easy thing for a child, but I can manage that.
What do you do to help you concentrate?
Um, I don't think I need to do quite a lot to focus on things. I just need a comfortable environment to avoid too many disturbance like the distraction of my cell phone or the noise comes from the background or outdoor environment. So I just need a comfortable and a quiet place to focus.
All right. What may distract you when you're trying to stay focused?
I think that is definitely the noise. I remembered when I was in my high school, one neighbor who kept big doors. The dogs would bark all night. During that time, I just felt I was going crazy. I was at the age of going crazy.
All right. So when do you need to be focused?
Uh, like when I think we have a lot of moments we need to focus. Just like when I was taking my final exams or writing something important, I need to concentrate very very quickly and for a long time. Maybe I like to do the double checks in that critical moment because I want to avoid any silly mistakes.
Wonderful. So, do you have a pen and a paper with you? Let's proceed to part two,
Yeah.
and that would take 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so next I'm gonna give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. So, before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, have you prepared your pen and paper?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to send you the cue card. So now you can describe a habit of your friend. Okay, yes,
Okay.
that your friend has and you want to develop as well. You should say who your friend is, what habit he or she has when you notice this habit, and explain why you want to develop this habit. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Uh, for this topic, I would like to talk about my roommate's habit that she can insist taking care of her skin. Uh, Recently, I just survived from the several exams, and in that period, I have burning the midnight oil to hit a book in a library. Uh, and prepared for those tests. Consequently, my skin condition becomes quite bad. Every morning, I wake up from my bed to look in the mirror. I could see the um, dark eyes and the yellow face with sleeping mind. However, after finish those exams, I find no matter how busy the day was, my roommate uh, my roommate can stick to do her skincare almost every day. So her skin condition was more stable than me. She would go to bed as early as possible. So her uh, to make sure that she had a sound sleep because she believed that the beauty sleeps could recharge her energies. Secondly, should stick to use mask regularly to cool and moisturize her skin. Also, with some skincare products like the body lotions or face cream to recover her skin. Um, apart from this, she apart from this, should do the face cleaning regularly to make sure that every pores can breathe easily. Uh, if I can if I can stick to those habits in this semester like her, instead of just play my cell phone and forget it totally, I will feel quite happy, because I think after that my skin condition can how to say come back to a normal standard or can come back to a better condition. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so that was almost okay, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
Let's proceed to part three. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. What habits should children have?
Well, I think children need to cultivate a lot of habits in their childhood, but I think the most basic one is they need to develop the ability to manage their time and to make plans. Uh, because this, if parents can help children to cultivate these skills in their early age, they can benefit from it, maybe for their lifelong. Children can have a good habit to control their time, means they can uh, in school, means they can set paths for their study plans, and they can exactly and clearly note what they shall need to do and what they shall focus on. Um, Maybe this can bring a lot of benefits to their academic performance. And in a long run, it can make them life, uh, control their life life path. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next, what should parents do to teach their children good habits?
What should parents do?
To teach their children good habits.
It means what skills need parents to teach for their children.
What should they do?
What
Yes.
should they do to help their children? Okay, okay, I know. Um, I think parents can do a bunch of things to help their children to form a good habit. But the most important and the basic one is to have these good behaviors before their children. They need to use the practical actions to make their children know that this is a good behavior, this is a good habit, and you need to learn it from me. So I think if parents can obey for example, if parents need to teach their children not to break the traffic light rules, and they should never break the law, like cross the pedestrian street when the red light is shining. So if they can use the actual actions to teach their children, I think child can learn quickly from their parents. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What influences do children with bad habits have on other children?
Uh, mm, I think it may have I think it may have uh, two influence for our children. The first one is that we all know that children are very likely to imitate others' actions, and they don't have enough abilities to recognize the skills is the skills are right or the skills are wrong, so they are easily to be misled. So I think the children with bad behaviors is probably um, to pass on these bad behaviors to other children and influence their living habits. Like in primary school, some children they don't like to finish their class on time, finish their homework on time, and then they like to play outside. Maybe other children see these actions will have well to do the same thing like that, and maybe they will bring the maybe they will pose a threat to their academic performance. Another is that uh, how to say the bad habits may bring some um, may hurt our child. Like I would think about the school bullying. Yeah,
Bullying.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Why do some habits change when people get older?
Oh, I think I think I think this is a very natural process. Uh, because with the when you get older, your body stress and all kinds of um how to say the body capacities will become the lower with the growth of your age. Like maybe many boys in their maybe teenager boys or young boys, they are likely to play the basketballs as a kind of sport to exercise. But when they get older, uh, they cannot play this intensive sports in order to avoid the uh, how in order to avoid the hurt or injuries of body. So they may need to change to take a work in a park or play the tai chi or some maybe more soft sports. Yeah.
hmm Thank you so much. Congratulations. Well done. All right. How do you feel? Okay, I think you're confident and it seems so natural to you. Okay.
um,
Mm-hmm.
I still think in part three. Yeah, I just
Yeah, don't worry.
you know yeah
Yes,
in Chinese actually a lot of students will play the will have a good prepared for the part one and part two, but in part three it's really
don't
uh
worry.
how to
Mm-hmm.
say I yeah
Oh,
yeah
okay. So yeah, for fluency and coherence, right, it's very important, right? Okay, because it's one of the criterion. So yeah, for part one, I just have some few corrections only. I am currently studying at, right? So since you have mentioned, okay, or you have said I am studying at. You can also say I'm currently studying at, or I can just wear t-shirts instead of saying I can just wear the t-shirts. Okay, t-shirts and blah blah.
okay
Or peaceful environment. Okay, so you have also mentioned, yeah, it's okay. Comfortable, right? Okay, and quiet environment. I remember. Okay, so
Uh,
second part, I like that one. I like your answer. All right, about beauty, of course. It's a girl thing, right? So her skin condition, okay, was smoother than mine. Okay,
oh,
or you can say the texture of her skin.
okay, okay.
Yeah, okay, so it's not the rough quality. 芥蒂.
Mm,
Okay, and also you can face cream to protect her skin. Okay, you can
mm,
say. All right, the
mm,
face, okay, face cleanser or facial cleanser. Mhm. Okay, astringent. Okay, this one. Yeah,
oh,
and yeah, and rejuvenating cream. All right, you can also use. Okay, it depends what you. How about sunblock or sunscreen? Are you
oh.
familiar with
I
those?
know the
Yeah.
sign. How to
Mm-hmm.
say the sign twine 是吗？Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
yeah.
it
The
can
sign.
sunblock cream, yeah, or
Mm,
sunscreen. Okay, so I'm just giving you some suggestions that you might use. Okay, in your future
okay.
answers. Okay, yeah, it could also be a sunscreen or sunblock lotion, right? Okay,
Mm,
all right. So you can also use figurative languages. Her skin is as white as snow, right? Just like that. Okay, for
okay.
example. All right. So, yeah. But I know you know how to use idioms well. But of course, you can also use figurative languages. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, of course, this is just a suggestion, but so far so good. Okay, so for part three, okay, so anyway, your answers are good. We just have to organize them. Okay, all right. So for you to get a higher score in fluency and coherence, but I know that you can do this. So what I'm gonna do is I will do a share screen now. Okay, and
Okay.
let's discuss. So you can answer part three in two ways. So I have noticed that you have used BREC. I like that. Okay. Sometimes you can use BREC, right? Point, reason, example, or explanation, and of course, conclusion. Okay.
Mm,
But you just
mm,
have to make it longer. But there's also another strategy for part three to be more logical. Don't worry, I will attach this in your notes later. Mm-hmm. You can always think
okay.
about
Okay.
part three questions for three dimensions. So, what some people think or do if you're asked to compare two things. But of course, you can do the listing as well if you think you're gonna say a lot. What others think or do. What do you think or do? For example, but if you can think of three dimensions or dimensions, you can just talk about the first two. Okay? So,
Mm,
examples. For example, here's a question. How do people in your country meet others and make friends? So, of course, the introduction, right? It would sound great, or it would sound great if you will say something that is quite related to the topic itself, right? What is being talked
mm,
about. So, here's the example. There are several ways people get to know others. Some, right? Some people are
yeah.
very active and socialize frequently in their own neighborhood. They make many friends by attending all kinds of activities in the community they live in. Others, now let's talk about others, can easily make
Mm,
close friends at school or at workplace because they spend too much time with schoolmates and workmates. I believe this is the major way for us to develop friendships. This time, the make friends, look, it was rephrased, right? Develop friendships.
mm, mm,
Okay, yeah, or synonyms there, yes. As for me, now let's talk about you. I find it safer and easier
mm,
to meet a friend through our common friends. Okay, so this is just an
mm,
example. If you are asked, which would you prefer, reading books or watching movies? Okay, alright, some people love to watch movies because they think they can save time. It can save time, and their pronunciation will improve by listening to actors and actresses. Okay, and others would prefer to read books, blah blah blah, right? They want to improve their vocabulary or to have a wide range of vocabulary, right? Because they think
Mm.
maybe they're weak on it and they want to improve or they want to progress. As for me, okay, or you can do the listing,
Mm.
okay, so you can say about the books and the reading books and watching movies, and of course, yes, this can help you to
Mm.
organize your thoughts and to get a higher score in fluency, right? So your ideas won't be scattered. Questions? Yes. Or prec, you can use the prec. Okay,
Mm.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have noticed that you were able to use PREC. That's the time that you can say because, right? I prefer to.
Mm.
Okay, why do people like living over? Others would prefer to blah blah blah. This. Okay, so
Mm.
WH questions. You can use triangle method, right? WH and HO or how, right? Okay,
Mm.
what usually? So sometimes PREC. Why do some people? I think it's because, right? Okay. So it depends. So you just have to analyze. Any questions or clarifications? Yes. Would you like to give it a
No.
try? And you can tell me what in which part would you like to focus. And also, I want you to okay here. Let me do another share screen, dear. Mm, okay, here. Academic. Okay.
Academic.
Okay, the intonation. Okay, it's also a part, right?
Oh.
Okay, it's for pronunciation, right? Okay.
Mm.
Good habits. Okay. So it has something to do with mental health, discipline, self-control. So yeah, you're right. So just by trying to cross the road. Okay. But yes, you may also focus on attitude, right? Or the behavior of the child. Okay, let me give you the
Mm.
meaning. Refers to the behavior that is beneficial. Okay, so it can be used to self discipline, all right, and self control. Okay, all right. Mhm. Okay, because you know that children are sometimes too much, right? They're too much. So they have to be disciplined while they were young, or else it would be hard to discipline them when they grew older, right? But so far, so good. We just have to organize it. Okay, so how about what influence this one? Why do some habits change when people get older? Why? Maybe because they have learned their lessons well, right? Something happened. Mm-hmm. Maybe they were punished, right, in a particular event, and it has changed their life completely. Maybe they have transferred or they are now living in another country. They have to adjust, right? You can give
Mm.
some situations why they were forced, or maybe their parents discipline them. You should be like that. So because I will give you a reward after you will pass this test, for example, right? So you can give some situations, right? Some, others, but it's okay to give a lot or to share a lot. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the general idea. So it's not always necessary to share what you have in mind or your own experience, right? Okay. So as long as you can share, all right. So it should be something that everyone can relate, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just
Yes.
I think in this question, why do some habits change when people get older? I just finally uh think that my teachers told me uh when he was a young boy, he liked to play the basketball with others, and now he is almost 50 years old. That and so and now he likes to fishing. He likes to fishing
Okay.
or jogging, because
All
his
right.
body cannot bear those intensive training or work. So I want to say this,
Yeah,
and
it's also
I
fine.
don't um yeah, I don't want to talk about my teacher because he is the typical one. I want to broad it into the young boys because every boy will become old.
Mm-hmm.
They have to
Okay.
experience this process.
Yeah, okay, great. That's good. People mature. Okay. And also, as we grew older, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Our body weakens or our body feels weak, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So there would be a limit, right? Okay. So maybe we just realize that we are sick and we don't need to do intensive trainings anymore. Oh, no,
Mm.
I want to do a lot. Okay, so yeah, those things I understand. Okay, so maybe too much is not good for them, right? Maybe they're taking some medicines and they're not allowed to do that, or else something might happen to them, right? There are things that are forbidden.
Mm,
Okay,
mm,
so it could be, yeah, maybe they're sick and their body weakens. What else? Mm-hmm. It has something to do with the
mm,
mind, right? Or maybe their point of views has changed. Hmm.
mm. Maybe um maybe I think I will, if give me enough time, I will talk about the traveling habits between
Yeah,
young teenagers and older generation. And because I think, as for me, young as a young generation, when I plan to travel, I prefer to experience some very exciting and uh, and how to say, the physical, uh, put high demand in physical conditions. I would like to take part in those activities. But for my parents, they don't like to take part in such travel plans. They just want to enjoy their life. I think this will change with the
yes.
growth of, yeah, with the
Oh,
adding of age.
yeah. All right, you can say that. So, based on my observation, all right. So, as for me, as a young woman, okay, and my parents,
Mm,
right, you can differentiate. You can relate it to your own life. Wow, great
yeah.
idea. Okay, questions, clarifications. Mhm. Nothing?
Yeah, no.